LakeNEWS breaking news. Exclusive dispute after session of the Human Rights Council. Russia declares herself as a state of love for all human beings around the world. Come to a state that truly loves peace. LakeNEWS invited the Russian delegate and the representative of the United States to an exclusive discussion. This is LakeNEWS breaking news.
We are working on a resolution which will promote the great idea of a fair and open dialogue to solve problems in so-called failed states. And we are on a good way, and I think it's our goal, the great goal, that we will reach that freedom and that human rights are respected all over the world. This is the position of the great nation of Russia.
Well, the United States of America and many other countries are working on a resolution paper as well. As we are talking about areas with limited statehood, we are noting with concern that some countries seem not to have understood what human rights mean, especially countries as Russia, which do not protect human rights in their own country. We believe that we have to help countries where the state isn't able to protect human rights. If a state is not able to protect people from being shot in its own country, then the United Nations have to intervene. Some countries disagree with the United States of America. We believe that we have to intervene with military because there's no sense in building schools in countries if the students are shot on their way to school. So we believe to actually help the people and to protect human rights.
Well, let me clarify, we have always good relations. But there are some differences regarding a possible solution, and I also had to criticize the behavior of the United States in the past, and of course of the harsh language. Like I already said, we are working on a resolution to make sure that the United Nations will confess themselves to the principle of freedom, of fairness, of sovereignty. Our great mother Russia is truly a nation the world can proud be of. Because we are working on a good resolution to freedom, to prosperity, to peace, and not this warmonger bullshit there.
Isn't it somehow hypocritical if the Russian Federation is talking about human rights, while people in their own country have to fear being shot if they don't elect Putin?
Please, dear listeners, don't believe this propaganda. Our great leader Vladimir Putin is loved by all the Russian people, and I don't think that this should be a topic here at this meeting. I also want to mention that it was the United States which bombed Iraq, bombed Afghanistan, and caused so many pain and so many tears under civilians, and it makes me so sad.
Well, but it was actually the Russians who originally invaded Afghanistan, and we had to find solutions to the problem you created.
My dear friend, it was the Soviet Union. You can't give Russian the guilt for things that the Soviets did in the past. That's not good. No good way of arguments. Yeah.
But obviously, we agree that Afghanistan wasn't America's fault.
It was the fault of American foreign policy. American foreign policy failed and caused so many pain and more terror and more hate.
The United States of America is a great nation protecting human rights all over the world.
In your dreams,
not only as role model in our own country, but we stand as a beacon of hope to the world as we are protecting human rights wherever we can.
The Russian nation is the nation small nations without so much power can trust. We are a strong partner, a partner for everything they need. The United States are only focused on their own gainings, and that's not the right way. We should focus ourselves on a good solution, and this solution must include Russia.
How could any nation trust the Russian Federation if you aren't respecting human rights in your own country?
This is another terrible lie. Another terrible lie. The Russian Federation respects human rights in every sense. Of course, there are some people, some criminals. I call them criminals, who cause trouble and problems and who hate the Russian state. These are not peaceful protesters. These are criminals, and criminals are guilty, and guilty people go to prison straight and directly.
We do not hate Russia. We want to help Russia to become a democracy and to protect human rights.
Like I said already, the topic is not Russia. The topic is how can we deal with failed states, and Russia is not a failed state. Russia is a successful state, a state with power and a state with love for all human beings all around the world.
So if Russia loves human beings all over the world, then you will definitely agree that we need to help failed state and that we need military intervention to make sure that people will not be killed in failed states anymore.
I would say we should make sure that people get the help they need. But military intervention, it's only a sign of power and a sign of that you are heartless against the things that people really need. They need education, infrastructure, political pressure, for example. But no troops, no bombings, no tanks, no guns. Not the American kind of brutality.
Military intervention does not mean that we bomb some countries. It means that we go there and we make sure that people aren't shot. We go there with our troops to take away weapons from people killing civilians, and to be there that children can go to school without being shot, to make sure that the food we give to these countries actually reaches civilians and isn't taken away but by people with guns.
Do you ever have met an Iraqi father whose kid was killed by American bombs? There is so much pain in the civil population caused by America, and that's a fact, and you can't argue against this fact. You have right.
We didn't kill civilians. We
You killed so
terrorists.
much of them, thousands, 10,000s. Little children, 5 or 4 years old, terrorists.
We didn't kill children. The terrorists kill children, and we kill terrorists to make sure that they won't kill civilians anymore.
Yeah. Killing. That's the whole thing you can talk about. I know that. We know that for more than 70, 80 years. But let me clarify again. We want peace in a way that can exist without military pressure, but with dialogue, with openness, and with a good work on international level, or on global level. And it depends on you to go out of this corner of brutality and hate and come to us. Come to a nation which truly loves the peace.
We love peace. The United States of America, we want peace and we want human rights, but we are realistic. And we see that human rights can only be reached if we intervene in those countries. And if it is necessary, then we will intervene with armed forces.